Hi, everybody. I thought I would give a little bit. It's been quite some time, so I'm on to give a little bit of an update. I went and got an MRI of my neck. I have a couple bulging discs and some issues with some spurs and stuff like that. Forward posture, which I already kind of knew, but I've got some a little bit of mild to moderate degeneration in my neck as well. And I know that a lot of us have neck problems too. So in all this, I went and got the MRI. They referred me to a spine center here locally. So I've got an appointment on Monday with them. In the meantime, I've been talking and doing PT online with through my insurance. So I'm doing some of that. I don't know if that is kind of irritating my right side, especially, or if it's Botox wearing off, or something of that other nature. But it seems like, especially my right side, I feel like it's fuller, which is typically when it starts getting inflamed in there. I do have a little ice roller, but that doesn't seem to help too much. It kind of, when you take some tongs into the middle of a towel and you just twist it and it twirls up. It's kind of what it's just kind of, sometimes it gets really bad, and in this whole area, and this side is real tight. Um, so I don't know if anybody's interested in any stretches. Like I said, I don't know if they're irritating my TMJ on this side. Although I used to not have, I'm getting a little bit more range in my side to side. It's still uncomfortable, but I'm getting a little bit more range. And stretching is always good to get a little bit of stretch in there. And they also, I was talking with them yesterday, the PT, and they're aware that I'm going in for jaw surgery, and one of his suggestions was to strengthen my neck, and do some of these things as preparing for the surgery, because after the surgery I'm gonna be your muscles are gonna react differently to the new situation, and your muscle memory and your brain memory will go back to how you were before. So trying to avoid too much of that happening, to where it won't or irritates conforming to the new situation. So trying to take that into consideration too, trying to get into the best possible position that I can be in prior to surgery. On the surgery side, uh, oh gosh, I've been bugging my doctor's office. I keep for months and months, since December. I've been saying, okay, what is my insurance says? They're still waiting on it. Asking them. I called my insurance at one point and I says, did they do the pre-approval? No, we haven't seen anything. So I call them again, make sure you guys, you need to check into it or resubmit it, because they say that they haven't received it. This has been going on for months. And I called the other day, I called and emailed my doctor's office and they didn't respond. So I emailed my insurance and they did not receive any of the pre-approval. So they were expecting to have my surgery this summer. My orthodontist says I will be ready this summer. I They just put in the pre-approval like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks at max. So they just put that in. So we have to wait for that to be approved. I still have to go and get the scans, and then it takes 3 months for the joints to be made. It's not going to be this summer. I'm kind of irritated. I'm hoping that we get in by the end of the year because of insurance and you know, I'm sure I'll make my deductible. Plus, I had prepared for it by having more taken out for the FSA, you know, the pre-dollar tax dollars to pay for medical expenses and such. So, you know, I need to use all that money, which I had planned on using it towards surgery. So, hopefully, and then on another downside is my workload in the wintertime is much, much busier. And the doctor said 3 weeks, which 3 weeks just doesn't sound like enough time to me. You know, I was thinking anywhere from, you know, maybe at 3 weeks going back part-time, but I don't know if I can stand sitting at a desk for 10 to 12 hours in the wintertime is how much I will typically work. I can't see doing that, and the stress that it all causes during that time. So I don't know how that's going to work. Figure it out, I guess. It's my dog drinking. He's noisy. So if anybody is interested in seeing some of the stretches, I can do a video and show the stretches that the PT has given me, as well as what the doctors on Monday say, because they're supposedly supposed to be, you know, doing something. I don't know if they're planning on suggesting other alternatives. They do all sorts of things, or they do you know, sort of shots and nerve blockers and acupuncture and PT and massage, all these different things that they could be doing. So I could pass on any information that I get with that. What else? Oh, there is a exercise, an exercise, which I quote because I think it is just so relaxing. So you take 2 tennis balls. I have these they're called bongers. So it's for, I used them in when I was doing massage therapy. And it's kind of it's basically a racquetball on a thin metal piece and a handle that when you hit, it kind of bounces a little bit. Anyhow, what you need is the 2 ball portions. And you tape them together. I used vet wrap because it doesn't stick. It sticks to itself, but it doesn't stick to the item. So you're not going to get a sticky residue, and all you have to do is tear it or cut it off, and it's fine. Vet wrap, it comes in all sorts of colors. It's like a kind of like an ace bandage kind of feeling. I don't know if anybody doesn't know what it is. You can find it at pet stores or feed stores. I used to use it. I started using it way back when I worked with horses, and I did a lot of horse riding, and you always kept some of that on hand for wrapping anything that needed to be wrapped, really. So anyhow, 2 of them together, tape them together, and then you lay on the floor and you put them I put them right at the base of where your occipital bone is, which is the base of your where your skull you kind of will have an indentation there. Mine's about right there. So looking at mid-ear, they say put a towel down here so the balls don't scoot down. Towel doesn't help. It's not strong enough to hold it there, so I don't know why they suggest that. But I put them there and I just kind of let them roll down and just kind of move. I just let them roll down and then I lift my head up, push them back up. So you're kind of getting a massage just from your head weight and goes down, and that feels so good, so relaxing. That one I would say is probably pretty safe for anybody to do. Obviously if it hurts, anything that hurts, don't do it. But it felt, I really liked that one. Let me see. Your basic stretching side to side. Also, if I'm kind of going into the exercise, even though I didn't attend to, holding onto your seat and to keep your shoulder down, or putting your arm behind your back and gripping your elbow, and you get a good stretch all in here doing that. And then the one in the doorway where you put your arms up against the doorway and you stretch this out. Those are also some pretty basic and good ones. I'm not going to go into all the other exercises of strengthening the neck unless somebody is really particularly interested in that. But one thing that they were saying was to strengthen the back of my neck. I don't know if you guys can tell too much. Sometimes, like, see how this is your ACM, and these on me are really tight, and see how they just stick up if I lean back a little bit. I'm kind of like sitting up real straight. So when I sit super straight, they pull, and that pulls on my neck too. But what they're trying to do is get those to release a little bit, and the back of my neck to start building up some muscle and some strength. One of the reasons I think it's been getting worse and worse and worse, the back of my neck, the weakness is because I get Botox. So I've got to talk to my neurologist about that. Because the Botox, I've been getting it for so long, and I get it in my neck. They were doing a lot more in my neck, but when I leaned forward, I couldn't hold my head up. Now these muscles in the front are kind of taking that role on of holding my neck up, or my head. So trying to even that out. So I'm going to talk to the one thing with the Botox, it either it kind of deadens or deactivates the use of it. But how he was explaining it was they just stiffen them, or I thought that they more just turned them off rather than froze them. And so I'll have to talk to my neurologist about that. What the muscle is actually doing, and what would be a better or an alternative placement, or maybe moving it around every other time, doing certain areas so I can still strengthen a little bit to hold my head up. So I'm not really sure. Gonna talk, if anybody knows anything about that or has experienced that. I get if you go back in the videos, I get Botox for migraine. So I'm getting Botox up in here. You're getting your temporalis. I get it in both my masseter, and I get it in the I don't even know the muscle name, right in front of my ear, because that seems to be really tight, especially on my bad side. This is my right side is my worst side. So I get it there. That tends to help the side, but I've been getting less and less because of the other things of bone loss and affecting your teeth, and I didn't want, I'm putting poisons in my body. So I'm kind of leery on that, but I can't go, on the other hand, I can't go back to having daily headaches, daily migraines, throwing up, you know, you just can't, you can't function doing that, and I'm very afraid of going back to that point. So that's why I've continued doing it all this time. Yep. So that's kind of where I am now. Kind of made it a little longer than I wanted to. Next orthodontist appointment next week. I get my very back molars, because my very back teeth on each side, both top and bottom, they don't have a bracket on them. And when I look at them, you could really see the difference of how the teeth have moved and whatnot. I had one orthodontist tell me that if those teeth, when he moved the very back molars, once they moved, and if they were just millimeter higher, that it would really open my bite. So I'll be really interested into how that is going to work once we get to that point. Right now, I don't know. So I have a little bit of a gap, and it's not open bite, but I think they still consider it a little open bite a little bit, because you can tell I don't touch. But it's open there. And this is if I try to touch my teeth together. I can slide it. Feels weird there. That's how it feels like. That's where I feel more comfortable. I can't tell. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell up close where my midline is. So I think right there. Right there. That feels where I don't have any pain. But of course, I know it's kind of crooked because of my jaw. Yeah, so that's about it. And if you have any questions, comment below. I will reply. If you want to see any more exercises or anything else that I do, then comment below, and I'll do a video on that. Okay. Thanks. Bye.